Another rapid fire 151 deck list. What's good? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to cover my favorite Kanto starter. Can you believe it's not Charizard? It's Blastoise. Yes, Blastoise. We do have Mew here today. We're going to put him off to the side, but he has dominated the promotional material. He's going to dominate the best card in the set. Pretty much every deck and format might or might not want to play him, so we're going to put him off to the side there just as a gentle reminder that your deck could probably slot a Mew in there. If you want to check out other videos on the channel, that would be great. It supports the channel and allows me to continue doing this type of content. We've done a tier list in a previous video, we've covered wigglytuff EX in a previous video, and we have Radiant Alakazam hopefully out before the set drops. With that said, let's dive right in, and we are playing 3 copies of the new Squirtle. So there's nothing relevant to write home about. Or you flame me in the comments about the 70 hit point Pokemon Go one. Honest to God, I forgot. Play whichever one you like. I'm picking up the 60 hit point ones because I would love to get my hands on those illustration rares. I've got nothing else to defend it. There is no War Turtle in the deck, unfortunately, but the illustration rare is beautiful. We are playing 3 copies of Blastoise EX. So Blastoise has everything I love to see in a Pokemon. It's water type, so it has the best support in the game. It's 330 hit points, it's very, very bulky, and Solid Shell makes it even tankier. So it takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. 360 hit points is a tough out. A lot of decks can cap it to 310 or 320. Blastoise is even bigger. So as long as you have your ability in play, it's a tough takedown. So once you get this big turtle in play, you're pretty much rolling. And it keeps in line with the 2 energy attack cost I've been looking for with stage 2s. Twin Cannon does 140 damage for each water energy card you discarded. You can only discard up to 2, so it hits 280. It hits that magic number. V-Stars right now are very popular in the game, and you want to be taking those out cleanly. So we take out the Arceus, we take out the Giratina, we take out the Palkia, and we take out the Lugia. We take out all of those. They can't protect themselves. Any of the damage protections do not work. Blastoise is cleanly going through those. We can also take out those basic EXs that are trying to run around with their bravery charms. They're not big enough. We'll take them down. We are going to keep in line with some of the best water support. 2 Palkia V and 2 Palkia V-Star. You can play a bunch of other cards in the deck, but I'm telling you, Palkia is probably the best. A 280 hit point water Pokemon, so it plays into all that terrific synergy. It has a 2 energy attack cost, subspace swell, 60 damage, and 20 more for each Pokemon on the bench, both yours and your opponent. Both benches are loaded. It's 260. So we have some very strong numbers. We have some consistency here, and it just keeps in line. They share a weakness, unfortunately, but that's a small trade-off. It's the ability that I want this card in the deck for. Star Portal reads, once during your turn, you may attach up to 3 water energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. Many decks are crying for a second attachment in a turn. We can have 4 on that explosive Star Portal turn. It unlocks Radiant Greninja, which lets you draw cards by discarding an energy, which plays in the Star Portal, but then gives the deck a sniping option. 2 water and a colorless, Moonlight Shuriken, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, then do 90 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. We want that. Star Portal and Radiant Greninja go hand in hand like peanut butter and jam. Can't go wrong. Then we play a couple more support Pokemon. We're playing 1 copy of Lumineon V. This lets us search for a supporter card when we play it. Playing 1 copy of Manaphy, which protects our bench. We do have very frail Squirtles. We need to protect those. If it safely gets into play, we don't have to worry about it as much. Right down at the bottom, we're playing 2 copies of Bidoof. So Bidoof has bench barrier protection, and 2 copies of Industrious Incisors. So once during your turn, you may draw until you have 5 cards in hand. That is our draw engine, that is our Ono protection, that is our late game. Because the supporters we play in this deck will be very wonky, so sometimes we don't get to see a sheer volume of cards without the barrel. Very key to the deck. You can play Pidgeot, but we're not doing that today. We are also playing, I'm going to put them to the side here, 10 water energy. Keeping it nice and simple. So if you've played a bit of Chien-Pao, you know 10 is kind of the nice number. We have a lot of ways of recovery. We have a lot of ways of search. You're really going overkill if you play more than 10, and I don't think it's necessary. There's better ways to allocate slots in your deck, like the supporter line. We are playing the best supporter for water Pokemon, Irida. So search your deck for a water Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand. You can also grab an item card with this card. So it guarantees our turn 2 Rare Candy Blastoise combination. We can grab Blastoise Rare Candy. We can grab any combo pieces along the lines, anything you're thinking of. It's very consistent. Stage 2s don't struggle if they're water type, which is why I love Blastoise EX. We're playing 2 of the actual best supporter in the game, Iono. Each player shuffles their hand, puts it at the bottom of the deck, and then draws a card for each remaining prize card. So it thins down late game, it kind of rips their hand away, it disrupts. Sometimes we just have a bad hand, and we're not going to play research in this deck, so we're just going to tuck it away, come back to it later. 2 copies of Boss's Orders, because we still want to pick what we're hitting. So we're aiming for those Lugia V-Stars, we're aiming for those Arceus V-Stars should they emerge. Giratina V-Star is not going anywhere, so being able to pick that off as soon as it hits the bench Fantastic. One copy of Raihan. So when your Pokemon were knocked out, you may search your deck for any card. You may also attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So it's energy attachment and it's the missing combo piece. So Raihan allows us to stay ahead on the game on attachments. And then last but not least, we are playing one copy of Giovanni's Charisma. So this is a new card that I've been touting. Big fan. Big fan. Giovanni's Charisma says put an energy from your opponent's active back to their hand. If you do, you may attach an energy card to your active. So this allows us to get 2 attachments on a Blastoise in a turn, or 2 attachments in a Palkia. And we don't always have to wait for Raihan in order to do such a thing. We don't always have to lean on Star Portal. We have an extra way of doing it. Sometimes we want to set up a second Radiant Greninja. We can do that. For Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards from your hand if you do search for any Pokemon. Very consistent. We are playing 4 copies in S-Ball. Search deck for basic Pokemon, reveal and put it onto your bench. This is our setup. We're playing max counts because we need everything set up that turn 1. 3 copies of Rare Candy. So it lets us cheat our Squirtles into Blastoises, and with Irida, we don't have to play the 4th one because we can grab them on command when we need them. It's really nice to have Irida in a deck that wants Rare Candy. 2 copies of Switch. Switch your Pokemon with switch your active with one of your bench. Sometimes we have a bad start, or sometimes they try to boss stall us. Also Irida searchable. 2 copies of Superior Energy Retrieval. So you Chien-Pao players, rejoice. We are keeping some of those cards. So if you bought into Chien-Pao, this is very handy. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Then put up to 4 basic energy from your discard pile into your hand. So we're going to be discarding a lot of energy, not as aggressively as Chien-Pao, but we are still going to be discarding energy. And this lets us get them back. This lets us reuse them for concealed cards or twin cannon or anything along those lines. It also helps thin down our hand for Barrel. That's also worth noting. 1 Battle VIP pass. We'll grab it off Irida turn 1. Search for 2 Pokemon, but you can only play it on the first turn of the game. 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball. Search your prizes, grab a basic Pokemon, put this in place of that Pokemon. It's not too bad. We're playing 1 Super Rod, so shuffle up to any combination of Pokemon or energy, put them back into your deck. Oh boy, there's a lot of text today. We're playing Letter of Encouragement, so you can only play this card if one of your Pokemon were knocked out. Search your deck for 3 basic energy, reveal them, put them into your hand. So again, it feeds into Twin Cannon, could be a Raihan grab, could be an Irida grab. 1 copy of Lost Vacuum, because if they put down Path to the Peak, we might be in a bit of trouble. Concealed cards, Lumineon, Palkia. It's also Irida searchable, so we can do it that way. 1 copy of Energy Search. Search your deck for a basic energy card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. It's like playing a Irida searchable 11th copy of Energy. And last but not least, we are playing 2 copies of Lake Acuity, the Stadium. So this is the 60. This is what I'm rocking with. I had some cute options to try in, canceling Colognes, Lost Cities, Path to the Peak, Roxanne's, you name it. Right now, we are just putting the template out there. If you enjoy the deck, let me know. I'm crafting this one on Thursday as well, behind Wigglytuff, and I'm going to rep games with it. I already have my pre-orders set for this one, so let me know what you think of Blastoise. Does this stand a chance in a Miraidon world? Are you hyped for it? And what do you want to see next? Take care, and keep having fun playing Pokemon. Cheers.